How is it going to be a massive teacher layoff in America, right? And they always say we put the kids first. But a massive teacher layoff is approaching us real soon, ladies and gentlemen, because the pandemic money ran out, right? ACP money ran out. But yet, these fools can fund these foreign countries with billions of dollars. And here is a prime example of the Biden administration putting other foreign countries first. They just passed a $90 billion package to fund Ukraine and Israel. And Israel is secretly dropping bombs on babies and innocent peoples in Pakistan. But yet, the U.S. school district bracing for a massive teacher layoff? Wow, that's sad, man. You motherfuckers think the Biden administration really cares about the American people? Y'all out here caping for the Biden administration when y'all say we put the kids and the babies first, but yet y'all putting them last over a war? Sad. Let's get into this video, ladies and gentlemen.
Tonight, as we reach the end of the school year, school districts are bracing for a massive round of teacher layoffs. Schools have already been dealing with declining enrollments and inflation, but now federal funding passed during the pandemic is set to expire. Here's ABC's Morgan Norwood.
Tonight, school districts from coast to coast bracing for possible teacher layoffs, as opposed to continued government. Tensions running high in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Dozens rallying against the school board's decision to cut teachers.
Say, when will we know if this is going to happen? And do it directly and clearly so I can go to sleep tonight.
In Hamburg, New York, district leaders approving a budget that includes layoffs for 20 employees, including 13 teachers.
The last thing in the world we want to do is lay off a single teacher, a single maintenance mechanic or custodian or teacher aide. We need to make sure that our revenues, our enrollment, our staffing are all in balance. And this budget does that.
And in Los Angeles, America's second largest school district, mounting concern for what budget cuts could mean for the city's teachers and students.
It's unfortunate and disappointing.
A critical factor in some of these budget battles, $190 billion in federal pandemic relief funding approved in 2020 and 2021 that some districts used to bolster their staff, now set up to dry this September.
The federal funding is coming to an end this fall. Another reason is increasing inflation costs and costs of things like healthcare and education. And another reason is declining student enrollments in our K-12 public school systems. So this kind of combination of factors has really created the perfect storm.
And Rachel, experts say students in lower income districts could feel the brunt of these layoffs, but look, this fight is far from over. The National Education Association, the country's largest labor union, is demanding that federal, state, and local leaders come up with a solution that serves both educators and their students.
Which is really going to affect the what? African American community, because they are the poorest when it comes to teaching. But here it is again, ladies and gentlemen, a slap in the American people face. Whereas though they just send funds and aid to these foreign countries and letting these migrants and immigrants migrate to America, and America is suffering. Behind who, y'all? This administration that don't care nothing about the American people. They already told y'all their campaign was to run and put the American people last. As y'all can see, it's going to affect you in one way or another, ladies and gentlemen. But it's a sad day in America. How America don't have funds for the school districts, but have funds for these foreign countries for a war. Wow, sad. And we all remember this last week or 2 weeks ago when Congress passed a Ukraine and Israel package, but yet can't pass a bill to keep American schools funded. Make it make sense, y'all. Let's go.
On this vote, the ayes are 311 and the nays are 112. The bill is passed. Oh, one voting present. I missed it, but thank you. Okay. The House will be in order. The House will be in order. The chair would remind my colleagues to observe proper decorum. Flag waving on the floor is not appropriate. The House will be in order.
It was waving flags, Ukraine flags, when they passed the bill for Ukraine. But yet the American kids and teachers are about to suffer. Wow.
Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table. For what purpose does the gentleman from Florida rise? I said, no. The gentlewoman from Florida. Okay. The gentlewoman is not recognized. Colleagues, no, I'm going to. The House will be in order.
I was saying that order, goddammit. And proof here that the Biden administration does not care nothing about their American people. And here's the proof.
Independents to vote for this bill. It's a path to my desk. It was a difficult path. It should have been easier and should have gotten there sooner. But in the end, we did what America always does. We rose to the moment, came together, and we got it done. Now,
but can't get it done for the American people when it comes to our kids and teachers in schools across America. Sad.
We need to move fast, and we are. Over 2 years, Russia has been responsible for a brutal campaign against Ukraine. They've killed tens of thousands of Ukrainians, bombed hospitals, deliberately picked them out, bombed hospitals, kindergartens, grain silos, tried to plunge Ukraine into a cold and dark winter by straightening their power grid. Ukrainians have fought back, defending their country and families with extraordinary courage. Many of you have been there with me many times. It's amazing what they do. I mean, it's amazing against such a large military. Ukraine has regained over half the territory that Russia took from them in this invasion. And they won important victories against Russia's Navy. But make no mistake about it, they're a fighting force with the will and the skill to win. The will and the skill to win. For months, while MAGA Republicans are blocking aid, Ukraine has been running out of artillery shells and ammunition.
Who cares? Our kids are suffering in America. Who gives a damn about that war? That ain't got nothing to do with us. As long as that war is being fought, there's money being made with this Biden administration. Peoples, wake up, y'all. Get out and vote. This election is very important to the American people because America is falling. And it's failing the peoples of America. Thanks to this administration for the last 3.5 years. America is in turmoil. America doesn't have any money, but yet they have packages to send to foreign countries and allow migrants to migrate to America. Make it make sense, y'all. This election that's coming is very important to get out and vote, y'all. And I know a lot of us don't like his running partner, but hey, if his running partner can change America for the best, I'm all for it. This guy got to go.
Meanwhile, Putin's friends keeping him well supplied. Iran sent him drones. North Korea has sent him ballistic missiles and artillery shells. China is providing components and know-how to boost Russia's defense production. With all this support, Russia has ramped up its airstrikes against Ukrainian cities and critical infrastructure, rained down munitions on brave Ukrainians defending their homeland. And now, America is going to send Ukraine the supplies they need to keep them in the fight. This weekend, there were reports, I find this amazing, there were reports of cheers breaking out of the trenches in eastern Ukraine. Probably came from one of your folks, a reporter or someone. I'm not sure where it came from. But they're cheering as they watch the House vote in support of Ukraine.
Well, Pete and Riel, as you know, for years, educators across the country have been advocating to their state legislatures to increase funding to public education. That includes here in Oregon. But after COVID-19, funding has dried up and the needs of students continue to increase. Both districts and teachers say that the funding system is broken, and a new video made by 4 superintendents here in Oregon wants to bring light to that.
Greetings. I'm Steve Cook, Superintendent of Middle Pine Schools. I'm Brett Champion, Superintendent of the Medford School District.
Hi, I'm Sandy Husk. I'm the Interim Superintendent for Portland Public Schools.
I'm Andre Castaneda, and I'm the Superintendent of Salem-Keizer Public Schools.
4 superintendents together in one video, asking the community to pressure state lawmakers to change how public education is funded in the next biennium, as districts across the state look to make deep cuts to their budgets.
If we don't make up ground in the 25-27 biennium, this funding gap will only make matters worse.
My biggest fear is, of course, for in the moment, and also for next year. We're going to have a couple of tough years.
Michelle DePass is on Portland Public Schools Board of Education. Her board is looking to cut about $30 million from their budget.
We need a sustainable funding model that funds education.
Right now, Oregon's public schools are funded in many different ways. This includes property taxes, income taxes, and business taxes. But after Measure 5 passed in the 1990s, a limit was placed on how much property tax revenue could go to local schools. Then Measure 50 passed in the same decade, limited how fast local governments could raise property taxes. Now the state legislature is tasked with funding most of Oregon's schools as they work to fund other needs from the same pot of money.
These measures have kind of had a disproportionate effect on our larger districts who do have that tax base, because what that means is when we have local taxes that supplement the funding given to us by the state then takes away some of their funding and redistributes it to other local districts.
Angela Bonilla is the president of the Portland Teachers Association.
You mean ship the money to the foreign countries to aid a war that they can't win? Well, like I said, the American teachers suffer in kids that they claim they care about. The kids is the future, but there's no funding that's about to run out. Make it make sense, y'all. We all know a lot of teachers. Some of our family members are teachers. You see? Sad day in America, y'all. Sad day.
Association. She says rural districts should not be overlooked in their funding needs. However, Measure 5 and 50 need to be reformed so larger districts can access the resources they need for their students.
Really taking the time to look at the data and see how has this impacted our schools across the state. Are there places where we're noticing that this is really just painful or harmful for student development and being able to keep quality educators?
Bonilla and DePass say something needs to change, whether that is reforming 2 measures or overhauling.
What need to change? This administration has to go. That's the only change that we need.
How the entire education system is funded in Oregon, because the problem of keeping Oregon schools well-funded is not going away.
I think those are the conversations we need to have seriously, as opposed to the blanket, we can't do that, we can't change school funding, we can't change the tax structure. We can. That's why we elect officials, that's why we have a government. We can do these things. It's not a rural issue or an urban issue, it's a statewide issue that the superintendents are calling for action.
Well, Pete and Riel, tonight at 6:30 here at Franklin High School, there will be a town hall about funding public education. And also on the ballot this primary season for Portland Public School community members, there is a renewal for a levy, and the district and the union says that by renewing this levy, the community could save hundreds of teacher jobs. Live in Southeast.
On this vote, the ayes are 311 and the nays are 112. The bill is passed. Oh, one voting present. I missed it, but thank you. Okay. The House will be in order. The House will be in order. The chair would remind my colleagues to observe proper decorum. Flag waving on the floor is not appropriate. The House will be in order. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
In
For
God
what
we
purpose
trust.
does the gentleman from
Yeah,
Florida
right.
rise? I said, hello.